No, no, continued Danglars. If we resolve on such a step, it would be much better to take, as I now do, this pen, dip it into this ink, and write with the left hand, that the writing may not be recognized, with the denunciation we propose. And Danglars, uniting practice with theory, wrote with his left hand, and in writing reversed from his usual style, and, totally unlike it, the following lines, which he handed to Fernand, and which Fernand read in an undertone. The Honorable the King's Attorney is informed by a friend of the throne and religion that one Edmond Dantès, mate of the ship Fernand, arrived this morning from Smyrna, after having touched at Naples and Port Farragut, has been entrusted by Marat with a letter for the usurper, and by the usurper with a letter for the Bonapartist committee in Paris. Proof of his crime will be found on arresting him, for the letter will be found upon him, or at his father's, or in his cabin on board the Pharaon. Very good, resumed Danglars. Now your revenge looks like common sense, for in no way can it revert to yourself, and the matter will thus work its own way. There is nothing to do now but fold the letter as I am doing, and write upon it, to the King's Attorney, and that's all settled. And Danglars wrote the address as he spoke. Oh, shit. Yeah, that's some rough business they're conducting there, isn't it? Do you think this letter that Dante has is actually a letter from Napoleon? It might be. Dante, though, I mean, we the readers don't know whether or not Dante knows what it is. He just knows it's from Leclerc, and that he has to deliver it to Paris. But I would imagine he at least knows who he has to deliver it to, even if he doesn't know what it is. But then the question becomes, why does Danglars know what it is? I mean, he wouldn't just like put his whole ass out there to frame Dante like this, only to have the letter that Dante is carrying be some sort of like Lonely Heart poem from Bertrand to, someone he was doting over back in Paris. So then, like, how does Danglars know what is in this letter? Just as we're starting to get answers about what Danglars is meaning to do, and a little bit of why, new questions arise. This is very, very intoxicating, I'm going to say. I was going to say frustrating. It's not. I love this. I'm loving every second of this. And I'm curious, too, how is reading it in these morsels for you, the listeners? It's very absurd to me. I've never engaged with the book this way before, and it's simultaneously a little maddening, but also, like, I've never gone this deep on understanding character and intentions and plot before, so this is kind of cool. I got a little bit of research I just want to share with y'all that I found. So Danglars is suggesting to send this letter to the royals, to basically the king's attorney, the procurer, and this royal prosecutor was kind of responsible for investigating any potential crimes against the monarchy. So that is who they're sending this to, and they would be the ones that go and investigate Dante should this actually transpire. Also, Joachim Murat, he was a Napoleon general, and this is the first we're hearing of Murat. Like, we heard of Bertrand when Dante was going to the island of Elba. Was Murat there? I don't know. This is historical information that I don't have. And lastly, he's suggesting that he's going to deliver this to Bonapartist committees in Paris. These are essentially pro-Napoleon factions that still existed in secret, kind of revolutionaries that were looking to overthrow the monarchy. So, Dante is being set up as a agent against the monarchy, and I got to imagine that's not going to bode well for him in court, should there even be court in this. Okay, anything else? Oh, I found this kind of interesting. Danglars, being so crafty and clever, isn't just like, we're going to write this, and we're going to write this in a way that, doesn't say our name and it doesn't tie back to any one of us. And just to make sure, I'm going to write this left-handed and change the style of my handwriting. I'm not sure that handwriting experts in the 21st century are going to agree that you can change your handwriting to that degree. Maybe, though, Danglars is ambidextrous, something that might not have been identified as far back as when this was written. So, he's a crafty fella, ain't he? Yes. Well, let's find out how crafty they are and how much walk goes with that talk as we start to conclude Chapter 4. I'll see you here tomorrow for the penultimate episode. Okay, bye. The Countdown of Monte Cristo is part of the Gruntwork Podcast Network. This show is produced, edited, and hosted by Landon Solano. The original text of The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexander Dumas. Theme song by Magic Solo. If you want to support the show and others like it, visit patreon.com/gruntworkpod. Thank you for listening. See you tomorrow.